All right, the sun's out here at Cerro Gordo. The snow is melting. And you know what that means? It's mine exploration time. Now we're next level up from where we were before. That's the light that I put down there. And there's another ladder even. Holy shit. All right, so today I'm gonna be exploring some mines. And I think just as a disclaimer, mines are inherently dangerous. They collapse all the time. We do not recommend going in any of these mines. So I think it'd be a good time to do a little bit of terminology for you. So a tunnel, which most people think that they're walking into, is not typically a tunnel. A tunnel needs to be exposed to the atmosphere on both sides. So have an entrance and an exit that are different. Most of what I'm gonna be checking out today are called adits. And adits have one way in and one way out. And most of these adits were drilled for like an exploratory purpose, to check out if there's minerals in there. If there were, maybe they would go further back. And so a lot of them might only go, 100 yards back. A few of the ones that I'm gonna go into today go miles back, and those are ones that are probably connected into the main mine shaft. So we're trying to go. That's what we're working with. Some rock fell down. Hopefully there's no bobcats back here. This has been known bobcat territory. Over the past week or so, I explored maybe 20 or 30 mines. Saw this from the road. Looking promising. Oh yeah. We're good. Never been into this one before. Oh, it's beautiful. Wow. Think about people just blasting this with dynamite and having to clear it out. It's insane. All right. It's a short little guy. So, on to the next, I suppose. I tried to explore 40 or 50, but a lot of the times you see something in the distance you think is a mine. I walked 30 minutes, an hour sometimes just to find a pile of rocks. Pretty high up. Where I want to go is there. My ankles. There's the mine. Well, that's disappointing. Walked about maybe 30, 45 minutes up here, and I think that the tunnel's either caved in or it's snowed in right now where you can't see it. There's lots of metal up here and wood, so lots of signs that there was a mine here, but as it stands, I can't get there. Mountain hike took us a little off track, but I think we found ourselves another good one. Whoa, that one is, really deep snow. Fuck. Whoa. Whoa. The ones I did find were pretty awesome, I found one that had this perfectly intact track. Oh, crazy. Holy shit, look. It still has full tracks in it. That's insane. You never see that anymore. Wow, look how far it goes around that turn. Yeah, typically they would remove these because they could sell them when the mine proved unsuccessful. So to leave them in is special. Then this wood is probably from, 1800s. This is a real treat. I can't wait to check this out. It even goes around a bend. It's so crazy. What the fuck was that? Holy shit. There was some obvious animal urine and other stuff back there from some animals. And the deeper I got back, I heard something at the end of the mine. So I spun it around. You know, I'm not trying to meet a bobcat by myself in a mine that nobody knows that I'm in.
The fuck out of there. That's not what you want to see back there.
Another one that was maybe the furthest from town, 3-4 miles from town, was just this crazy mine with multiple levels. Hiking up this old road looks really promising, and there's tons of tailings everywhere. If you look up there, first off, what beautiful scenery, but it appears like some wood structure. So I'm guessing this has been a pretty substantial mine, otherwise they wouldn't have built a road like this. But we are out there right now. We're maybe 3 miles from Cerro Gordo. That's Death Valley. Oh man, hopefully it's open. This is something else. Oh. All right, let's give it a shot.
Get back there.
Oh man. Whoa. That is terrifying. So as you went back, the tracks were still intact. There were ladders leading up 10 feet and then other levels and other levels, and then also a ladder straight down maybe 30 feet. So imagine there's a whole other set of mines back there. There's even another level there.
Whoa, this place is crazy.
And I took the ladders up. You know, my confidence could allow me to go up to what I could see, but the thought of going down 40 feet to what I couldn't see didn't really sound appealing. I didn't want to be stuck in a mine that nobody knew that I was in, miles from a town that nobody else was at, miles from any other town. So it just didn't seem like the best idea. Now we're on the next level up from where we were before. That's the light that I put down there. And there's another ladder even.
And it appears to go higher yet. Another cave there. Down there.
It's pretty steep. That's my other light. Oh, great. This ladder looks safe. Nope. Sometimes when you're walking around, you know, unexplored land or areas where there used to be mining, you'll come upon a lot of these. They're either wooden or they'll be a pile of stones, sometimes far up on the mountain, sometimes seemingly in the middle of nowhere. And these are claims markers. And what these were showing who held the different mining claims in the area. And a lot of times if you look nailed to the back or maybe down by the base, you'll find an old tobacco tin. And in the tobacco tin is where the mining claims themselves were. And so this is one I found somewhere else, but if you open it up, July 1st, 1925, for example. And if you open it, there's a notice of the location. And this is saying, I've never opened this before. This is saying at Cerro Gordo, California, July 1925. It's a gold claim, which is interesting because I don't think that they had found very much gold at Cerro Gordo. But this is a gold claim made out to Winters, Christensen, and Homer. You know, Cerro Gordo is a really important mining town. It's a town that they pulled something like $17 million worth of silver out of, and adjusted for inflation, that's probably $500 million worth of silver. Cerro Gordo, back in about 1890, was so successful and so popular as a mine that it required a larger port city to support it. You know, the miners up here needed goods and everything. And so Los Angeles was the closest port city. So the demand of Cerro Gordo forced Los Angeles to develop quicker and forced it to develop into what it is today. So it's interesting to think that this essentially forgotten town is responsible for one of the most popular cities in the world, really. I'm gonna try to leave the camera going just to show you how far back we're going, but I'm gonna take you as far as it's safe.
This is so cool. Look at some of this graffiti. And they must have used like charcoal or something for the graffiti. 54. It's crazy to think that was 70 years ago. Another guy from 54. '70. 70. It's crazy. 85. I think this is a piece of old cloth of some type. You know, if this was jeans, it'd be worth tens of thousands, if not even more than that. But a lot of those are picked through. You know, the guys make their living off finding old Levi Strausses and selling them back to Levi. But anytime you can go into one of these mines and find anything, it's pretty cool. I try to leave this stuff behind. I feel it's not my place to take it out of here. It's a piece of fabric. This one feels lighter, almost like a shirt. Oh wow, look. You can see the buttonhole there, where a button would have gone. I mean, this is a 150-year-old shirt. It's crazy being back here a couple thousand feet underneath the mountain, just to think that these aren't caves, they're man-made things. The guys had to come in here, dynamite out, muck out, so pull out, and then keep going. And it's just this eerie sense, particularly being here alone, but this is what built Cerro Gordo. This is why Cerro Gordo is here. Mines like this. Workers at Cerro Gordo would work underground, 12-hour shifts for $4 a day. The above ground guys would get $3 a day. And so, I mean, it was tough work. It was work that, you know, obviously took a lot out of a guy. And so I think it's important to come back into mines like this and kind of remember what built Cerro Gordo. I remember that whatever work we're trying to do, it kind of puts it in perspective a little bit. So when I'm back in these things, this is what I'm thinking. Like, I've been cleaning out the museum recently. And in the museum, we have these old, terrible couches that I don't use anymore. But what cooler thing than to bring a couple of couches back here and create kind of a lounge thousands of feet underneath a mountain. View back out of the mine. So as you can tell, we're pretty good in here. So I think eventually this is gonna become such a ridiculous lounge. Maybe one day build up the nerve to go down there. What I do is I gotta make sure these couches and other things are gonna fit in for this cave lounge. Just try to imagine how creepy this mannequin 1,000 feet back in a mine is gonna be. We got this carpet, these creepy lamp things, this creepy lamp, and of course, a mannequin. You ready for the big lounge reveal? Uh-oh. Got a leak.
Gotta call the landlord about that. We got a leak. Oh, what is this? Is this a living room in the middle of a cave? Oh yeah. Oh, fuck. That's creepy. Probably the creepiest part about this is right behind the couch is just another tunnel, but then also a hole that just goes forever down, basically. So don't lean back here in the lounge. So that's it. This is the lounge so far. I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait to hang out here, you know, read a book. Maybe I'll sleep in the lounge one night. But thank you guys so much for the support so far. You know, it's just been amazing seeing people interested in this town. And so I can't wait to make more of this for you. The best thing you can do to support us is to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below with other ideas for the video. Leave ideas for this lounge. I can't wait to decorate it, hang some pictures. But thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time. I get used to this place. It's like new.